Good morning. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for another edition of Monday Morning Quarterback. This past weekend, our team moved to 10-0 as we defeated Carleton 56-0 down at their place and completed another undefeated regular season with a 10-0 mark. It was the second year in a row that our team has been perfect in the preseason, and as we found out, it was the first time in the history of the MIAC that any team has finished with back-to-back 10-0 seasons. So for our guys to work hard enough to break new ground like that and be in a position that no other MIAC team has been makes us feel very, very good about the work that's being put in. Defense was the story of the day. We recorded our third shutout of the season, and I really like the way our defense is playing at a very high level. Couldn't ask for much more, only allowing 4 touchdowns in the last 6 games. And I think the story of the defensive day was our final downs. We were only allowed them to convert 2 of 20 third and fourth downs, and that's as much a reflection of us getting off the field on third down as it really is stopping the run on those early downs, first and second, and staying up on those chains once again. Our defensive line just dominated the day. It was great to see all the productivity. Both Riley Dombeck and Blake Bricks combined for 10 tackles. Riley also had a couple sacks and fumble recovery. Iowa Duru chimed in with another 2 sacks of his own, and we got to see Chase Aho take a lot of reps as he started at nose guard and really anchored down the middle of the line. We were able to hold their offense to 85 total yards on the day on only 54 plays, so the productivity all around was pretty good. Inside linebacker, both Tony Dana and Paul Carlson led the team in tackles. Paul is back in the rotation after a couple of weeks out and starting to really come into his own. We did have 5 sacks on the day, but to be very frank, it probably could have been more like 8 or 9. We did miss a couple on the pass rushes, and we have to get that cleaned up. Offense, we were able to come out of the gates rushing the ball and continued to do so. I think the biggest discrepancy of the game was the fact that we had 380 some odd yards rushing and they were held to 9 on Carleton's side. So that was a huge disparity in our favor. But a very nice performance up front, particularly from Dan Chapman, Ulyss Payne, and Logan Marks, having very consistent games and setting some really nice blocks for our backs. We did have 2 that went over 140 yards. And Colin Tobin and Aaron Terrell Bird, who came in early and did a fantastic job, not just in tight spaces between the tackles, but once he had an opportunity of getting into the open field. Matt O'Connell, as many of the young players did, played the majority of the day, and with Matt at the helm at quarterback, he was able to direct our offense to 5 touchdown drives, in large part because of that run game, but also mixed in some very nice passing, led by Kyle Whitley, who led the team in receptions, and just had a fantastic day blocking and hustling, and a lot of those big plays downfield were a result of that hustle. Special teams, once again, Timmy Albright was flawless on his PATs. What was probably more important for us was we were able to do a few things in the field goal PAT game. Ricky Marguerite faked the field goal and ran in for a 6-yard touchdown to open up the scoring on the opening drive. And then on the ensuing PAT, we faked the PAT, and he ran it in the other way to go up 8-0 right out of the gates. Our kickoffs started off strong, but as we've seen a couple times, after 5 or 6 kickoffs, our productivity dropped off a little bit. Now, a lot of people will say that's a good problem to have, and we agree, but even if we have 5 or 6 or 8 or 9 kickoffs, we've got to be able to keep that consistency up, even when some other guys went in the game, and that's something we have to improve on. But as I said at the beginning, just a tremendous day for us to be able to do something that no MIAC team has done in nearly 100 years with the back-to-back 10-0 regular seasons, and just another mark that these seniors and that this team continue to break through. Players of the game on defense, Riley Dombeck. On offense, Aaron Terrell Bird. Special teams, Tremaine Williams. Offensive scout, David Broading. Defensive scout, Rucker Heffelfinger. And hustler of the week, Kyle Whitley. We now turn our attention and our focus to our bye week, a much-deserved bye week, and we will spend our time getting focused mentally, getting healthy physically, and turning our attention onto being the best us's that we could possibly be, cleaning up those things that we'll need to clean up as we move forward into the playoffs. Next Sunday at 5 o'clock on NCAA.com will be the pairings and the selections for the playoffs. You can follow that live on the NCAA.com, and then following that on Sunday night, night, you can check out our website, TommySports.com, for all updates and all information about the playoffs, home playoff games, tickets, and our opponent. Thanks so much for following us. It's been a wonderful ride so far. We look forward to you continuing that support as we move forward into the playoffs. Have a great week.